There are thousands of different ways to make a website, and most of the platforms have different pros and cons, but fundamentally, they should all be able to do the job of putting text and media on a page for an audience. The differences in the platforms usually comes down to three things: the cost, the ease of use, and the flexibility. My name's Arlie. I've been building websites for over 30 years, and I've used countless tools and platforms. And right now, I would always recommend that an organization that is choosing their next website platform would really optimize for flexibility. You want this to be the most easy for the editors and website managers to do all the updates. All the non-nerds should feel comfortable with this tool without having to go more nerdy than they want to. But you should have the ability to be as nerdy as you would like to be, as technical as you want to be. If you want to be doing some HTML, it should give you the ability to do that. The more technical skill you have, the more flexibility that you want to see. Today, I want to introduce you to the platform I've been using for about a year now. This is called Statamic. The name comes from the portmanteau of static and dynamic. And you can build highly dynamic, content-rich websites with static files. There's no database under the hood. And why this might matter to non-nerds is because databases are usually the thing that are exploited and attacked the most by hackers. So having a static website makes it easier to do version control in technology called Git, and you don't have the database queries slowing the website down in the back end. And of course, the security of not having your database get hacked. Here on my machine, I'm running a local copy of a website that Statamic has provided as a demo. There's a logo / name at the top. There's a link to pages. There's articles. There are taxonomies. These are the tags. I can click on those and see articles tagged like that. On the back end, when I log into the control panel, there's this dashboard. I can go to my collections, look at my articles. I can come in here and edit one of these articles. So here's the title, here's the content. This one happens to be using a notation called Markdown, but you can also have one of those what you see is what you get things where you can copy paste from Word or Google Docs, and your bold and italics and all your links, all of that will work. Over here, there's tools for publishing and stuff like that. And if you are a website editor, this would be kind of where you go to edit those articles. Here's where you would go to edit pages. Here's the about page. There's text in here. There's also this live preview mode where I can come in here and edit the text. Hey. And it automatically is updating to give me a preview of what this is going to look like to my audience. It really can be quite an intuitive interface for anybody of any skill to edit and manage a website. And now I want to do a little deep dive and show you sort of behind the scenes how I might work with this as a developer. I would go to Blueprints, and let's say I want to add a YouTube video optionally to my articles. I will edit the blueprint for articles, and I'll just create a field. I just want the URL. So I'm going to call this YouTube video, paste YouTube URL here. And I get all these different options about how I'm going to place this on the page. I'm going to save this, go back to edit my article. And now if I scroll down, I can see YouTube video, place here. Well, I would actually like to see this above the content. So I'm going to go back and edit this. So I'm going to bring this up here. And actually, I'm going to make it 50% wide, and the title is as well. Command S for save. There's lots of keyboard shortcuts, which to me is the litmus test of a pretty mature tool. When I scroll up, now I can see YouTube video here. You know what? The designer in me who wants a crisp experience, I don't like that they're not lined up. So let's just fix that too. I'm going to come in here and edit this one more time. And I'm going to put that instruction below. Hit save again. I could live with this. The other place where I might like to see that would be in the sidebar. So I can go into this tab. Oh, let's bring it with us. So I'm going to bring that up here, bring it in there. I'm going to put it at the top. Now I'm going to make it 100%. Whoop. Now this is all one-time setup stuff that a website editor would never need to see. but now I could paste my YouTube URL here, and it's easy in the back end for me to grab this little snippet, put it into my template. I can even add a little bit of back end PHP, or they use a framework called Antlers, and I can manipulate this URL so that whether the user has pasted in the embed code or the link to the YouTube video, it will get that ID and embed it as an iframe, no problem. So that's just a quick look at how easy it is for me to curate the experience of editing one of these pieces of content on a website. I always want my clients to feel comfortable that if I should perish or something should happen, that they will be able to get support. On the Statamic website, there is a link of their partners. These are people that have applied to a partnership program. Under the community tab, there is the Discord chat, and there is a thriving community of developers working and helping one another. You can post possible jobs or looking for developers in that space. And it seems to be just a group of like pretty savvy developers. I also want to mention that Statamic is built on Laravel, and Laravel is a highly beloved framework for building websites. So it's even easier to find experienced developers doing this. I started using Statamic about a year ago because the other tools that I'd been using started going through political upheaval and some drama, and it seems rooted in pressure from investors in those platforms. So when I was researching what other tools I would build websites with, it was important to me that the business model of these things makes sense and that the owners aren't under pressure from people who would have interests other than mine or my clients. I was relieved to see that not only Statamic, but Laravel and Tailwind and Alpine, they all seem to have business models that make sense. They charge for licenses where appropriate, and they have a staff that is paid. So they are just working on creating the best platform that they can with a real focus on the user experience of people managing websites and people building the websites. So I will be building my own website on this. I already have several clients who are moving away from other platforms. And so far, it's just been a really awesome experience. When I pick a tool, I want something that is going to focus on user experience. I want it to be a joy for me to work with. And I want to have a low operational cost. I don't want to be charged for things like how many form submissions I get per month. I want to have the freedom to edit all this code directly myself and host it on whichever server that I want. I want that flexibility. As a developer, maybe I am a little bit of a control freak with a website, but that is good for not just me, but for my clients as well. If there is a catch, it's that you need a developer to set this up. At some point in the typical setup of a Statamic website, we're going to be in the terminal typing command line instructions to spool this thing up. But with that technicality comes so many more options about flexibility. So in my year of working with this tool, I have found Statamic to be boring in a good way, which is something that you want to be able to say about almost any technology that you use. It could be your car, your camera, your microwave. You don't want to think about how you are using the tool while you are using the tool. You want to be able to focus on the real meat of why you even have a website, which is focusing on the content, thinking about your audience, engaging with them, communicating to them. And Statamic allows me to do that. The workflow is intuitive, the tool gets out of the way, and I get to make the main thing the main thing. So whether you're a developer just looking for a new second favorite CMS or new tool to expand your skills with, or maybe you're a client, somebody who owns or manages a website, I would highly recommend Statamic. I have put links in the description, and I will be making a couple more videos about this on my channel in the future.